Welcome to FCC Supporters Square. For fans, by fans, and about fans. Here are your hosts, Mark Subin and Matt Gorman. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Look, there's more than one of us or two of us. There's actually three of us this week, back from international chant duty, where he was an all-star for the United States. Mr. Mark Suffin, how we doing,
Hey,
sir?
doing just fine. A little tired from last night's wonderful 3-0 match, but rearing to go tonight.
By the way, this is a voice not even in the Bailey the day after. I was still
Yeah.
going, why do I sound this way? And I wasn't even in the Bailey. With us is a very special guest. Oftentimes, like last week, we had the most recognizable person in the Bailey, Ed Baker. This week, we have maybe not the most recognizable in the Bailey, but definitely recognizable, particularly if you follow Twitter and you are a Bengals fan. Ron, aka that playing Benglorian. I have a hard time saying that. So if I say something goofy, just say hi, Ron.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you so much for having me on. I'm glad to share this new fandom and love that I've found with anybody and everybody.
Fantastic. And let's just jump right into it. Last night, probably the most dominant performance we'd seen from this team. That's definitely this year. You know, the 1-0 nail biters, the 2-1 nail biters, not in doubt. Starting minute one, right? Minute 20, it goes in. It looked like, from my vantage point, that it was Vasquez getting the boot on it, but it was an own goal. Do not care. 1-0. We put them on the back foot early and often, and quite frankly, 3-0 was probably the low end of that score. What do you think, Mark?
Certainly plenty of opportunities. I think the defense just owned any attack that they thought they were going to have. Last year, really, they had us on our back feet, but last night was just a quality outing in which we, imposed our will and, got the ability to transition and get good goals. We got a set piece goal. We got a transition goal. It was just an overall wonderful effort.
It was fun to watch. I'm telling you what, Wednesday night, midweek, early-ish season, first third, 23,500, just a little shy of a full house, and everybody was in pretty good voice. Everybody. Ron, did you get a chance to catch the game?
Yeah, so I caught highlights. Yesterday was a busy work day for me, but like you guys are saying, anytime you can absorb pressure like that, and you're going to hear me use terms that you guys are familiar with that I'm new to, I grew up playing lacrosse, loved hockey a little bit, so that's kind of really, really helped me learn soccer and understand it. But anytime you can absorb pressure like that and turn it into pressure on the opposite side of the field and really hammer it in to the opposite team's defense like that, it's a really good thing. And like you said, like the one goal nail biters are awesome, but when you can go out there and really dominate on the pitch, not the field, the pitch, I'm learning. It's it's a great thing to see across the board. And not only are we on this crazy run of home wins, to go out there and take a team just pretty much to the woodshed the couple days before you got to play your big rivalry game, that's got to be a momentum thing.
We were excited. There was a lot of people going, watch out for Montreal. They're on the rise. Pat Noonan was saying that in his press conference. A lot of people are going, this is a trap game. Everybody's looking forward to Saturday. And what trap game? That's what I like. It was you can see that Montreal was trying to do a press on offense, counter on defense. At one point, they were playing 5 in the back, particularly in the second half, and we still scored anyway. It seemed like every 50-50 ball, we just dominated and we pushed them off the ball legally and transitioned very well. Another back heel by our area by Acosta did not quite lead to a goal this time, but that was fancy dancy.
Quality.
Quality. There you go, sir.
Yeah.
So good. Go ahead.
I was going to just say, Luciano Acosta, made match day 13 player of the match day. He was on team of the match day, as they call it. So he was named to that team. Obina Nobodo was named to the bench. So very good showing from that nice win last night. Bailey was just amazing, end to end, loud, energetic. So that was just really nice to see. This was our first MLS weeknight match. Every single match this year has been Saturday. So this was quite different. So I'm glad we had, almost sold out. But certainly a great night in Cincy. Beautiful weather. I mean, you couldn't ask for better than that.
Not freezing.
Yeah.
So yes, no, not only a 3-0 win. Do you know what the supporter shield is, Benglorian?
Yeah, I do. I'm learning all the new stuff, but this was a good one to head towards that shield, huh?
We have the supporter shield as we speak, with
Yeah.
the loss on Saturday that the New England gave to us.
Mhm.
And we cut into that goal differential. So if we start getting close, now it's not a 5 or 6. Now it's a 2-goal differential. But we do now have the supporter shield for those casuals who are watching. And we may have a couple. The supporter shield is the first place team in the league. There's an Eastern and Western Conference. There's 2 first place teams. It's the first place team of the first place teams. And I believe you do get hardware for
Yes, you
the
do.
supporter shield.
It's a real shield.
It's a real shield, which would go well with our sword, don't you think?
For sure. And definitely doesn't go with wooden spoons.
No.
Yes. We're getting the whole set. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna get a plate and spoon. We already have the spoons. Now we're gonna get the plate.
Oh, funny.
So thoughts turn to Saturday. This is how I tell my friends, Benglorian, what this rivalry means. It's like, oh, it's a big game. And I'm like, yes, imagine if the Bengals had to play the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Browns at the same time.
Oh boy.
This is not just Pittsburgh week. This is everything week.
Yeah. Okay.
This is where and we're the little brother. The history is that obviously the Crew were one of the original MLS teams, but the key where it part to the rivalry for me at least, and I think Mark would probably have some other thoughts as well, was when we played them in the Open Cup. That Open Cup run led for us to be in the MLS. Columbus knew that a good portion of their fan base was from Cincinnati. So when the team started, they lost a good portion of their fan base because there's not a lot of people in Columbus. There are some, but there's not a lot of people in Columbus that were fans. It was mostly Cincinnati fans because that's where the soccer was. So when we had to play them, usually in the early rounds in the Open Cup, like what we did this year with Louisville Cities, that we didn't play our starters. We played a couple. You have to. You're not going to play your entire 2 team if you want to try to win. But usually you heavily rotate out your team, and then you hope to win 1-0, 2-0. You don't care. Columbus told us and made a point that they were going to play all of their starters to show what soccer was like. And then we beat them 1-0. So that's where the rivalry really is. There it is. That's where it really started. And since then, we've had a tie. I think we got 1 win in the 18 times we played them during COVID year, which didn't feel like anything because they kicked their butts quite a bit. So there's a lot of there. We're not on the top side of the win sheet. So going into this season with momentum at home, and the fan base frothing at the mouth, I think that's where we're at. Mark, do you have anything additional to add to Hell is Real for the Benglorian fans?
Well, believe me, Hell is Real is the epitome of your absolute rival. We don't have the little micro conferences like NFL does or MLB. We just have 2 big conferences, and that makes this Columbus match the pinnacle of rivalries. So 2017, was that wonderful run that we had over at Nippert Stadium. We just went to match after match after match as we continued in that separate tournament. This match was just tremendous. It was a 1-0 match, but it's just how we played and how we didn't back down. We didn't, we took the hits and gave it right back. And then it just kept rolling and rolling, and we finally got that goal middle of the second half and held on to win. So this has been a interesting rivalry. I've been up to Map-Free Stadium. I have not been to Lower.com Stadium yet, but it is a absolute rivalry. They don't like us. We don't like them. The only time we had some synergy was when Columbus was looking to leave and go to, well, the ownership went to Austin.
Austin.
But Cincinnati fans worked to keep Columbus there. So as much as we hate each other, there was some camaraderie at one point. That's been a long time ago.
So are you going to the game?
Certainly.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, I thought you were asking me. No, I want to. I don't know if I'm going to make it. You guys are both going though?
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I got a crazy weekend. I coach both my daughter's little league soccer teams, and
wow.
Then I got 4 kids, makes it tough sometimes, but I want to try to go. But you guys both sit in the Bailey, correct?
I do not.
Okay,
I do not.
All right, I didn't know.
I do.
Right, cool.
I try to hang out with these guys in the Bailey about 3 times a year, but I'm in the first financial piece, midfield. I'm in where all the retired capos are. I see several capos at the home games, and we commiserate about things and stuff. Not being a capo, but being a day one supporter is. I'm like I don't know what you call myself, a Bailey supporter emeritus. kind of that's what you say with old people that still do it. So yeah, if you can, if somehow you by hook or crook get that, particularly if you're in the Bailey, then all bets are off, because they're just going to be a bunch of filthy animals. It's going to be amazing out there.
It was incredible the first time I sat in the Bailey. I went there for the I want to say I was in the Bailey for the is it Inter Miami or just Miami?
Inter Miami.
For that game. And it's just, there's nothing like it in sports at all. I don't know. It's my truly only soccer or football, whatever people call it, experience really, with like a super fandom section where all these just insane people in a good way sit. I went with my mother, and I was like, I think that they don't shut up the entire game. Like I think it's loud the whole game. And I just was warning her, and sure as heck, the whole game, I was so impressed. Like it's just like, there's nothing like it. I did the march. I came in, I got to get a beer and then go to the Bailey. I was pretty low. I got some decent seats in the Bailey, and just to watch the guys up front, and then everybody just respond to their energy. Even the team, like acknowledging that the Bailey exists. Like in the NFL, you get some guys that score a touchdown and maybe they jump up in the back of the end zone, but that happens like once in a blue moon. Like the guys on the pitch were like looking at the Bailey, and it like really made me feel, anyway, as a newer fan, like, oh wow, this section is a part of this game and it matters. And it was just the most wonderful experience I've ever had. And like, I would love to migrate some of that to the NFL. The chants, like the vigor, like everyone, how excited they were to be there. It was unbelievable.
That's what we do. We do a bit of a tailgate. We try to keep it down. We're not getting fully out there, But we get a little lubricated just to keep things, nice and loose, as you know. And I know at least part of our fan base has been yelling, who's watching this, when they watch this, they're going to go 90 minutes plus.
Wow.
We do 90 minutes plus. Oftentimes, so if you're ever in Nellie's, and Mark has to keep me under control at times, but we do chanting before we even go to the march. That's just the thing that we do at the brigade. Everybody has their own rituals and whatnot. So did you know that the Bengals, I've seen Bengals fans with scarves. Did you know that there's Bengals scarves?
I've seen them, but I didn't. I just thought it was people wearing scarves, right? And then I go to the FC Cincinnati and I see like that's a real thing. And I did kind of put two and two together. And I got one. It's upstairs. I don't have it with me now, but I bought the City Connect one because I was like, hey, if I'm gonna do it, I might as well get the scarf, the jersey, and let's go full bore. You know what I mean?
So have you ever looked into a supporter group?
I haven't. No. I know there's a ton of them, and I know that they're all do their own thing and they're all beautiful and wonderful. But with the platform I have right now, my goal is to appeal to the person like me who has maybe, I don't know, over the years maybe driven by Map Free up north or something and gone, man, what is that sport? What are those guys doing in there? And then all of a sudden, I went to UC and there was a soccer team playing in my football stadium. What are those guys doing there? What are they doing? What's the Bailey? They can't rename Nippert. What is that? Didn't get it at the time, right? And then all of a sudden we're in the MLS and there's a beautiful, wonderful TQL stadium with the lights and all this stuff. And I go, man, okay, I think I want to go check that out and at least see what it's about. And I want to appeal to that person because I'm that person, you know. I'm a diehard football fan. I played football at an intermediate to high level. Loved it my entire life. Bengals forever. It cut me open. I bleed black and orange. There's a little blue starting to trickle in there, though. I like the blue that's getting in there. And this is new to me, and I want to show the guys and the gals that are like me that are curious and maybe aren't ready to make the jump that they just need to make the jump because the deep end is so beautiful and so fun with FC Cincinnati.
We at soccer, we don't hold any grudges. I've heard the taunts from the football people. I used to play backyard football with top high school players, 5-on-5 football, and we used to routinely beat them. And they made them mad because they didn't understand. We run all day, every day, and we've got some really fast players. And I'm a pretty tall. I'm 6'4". If you've not seen me, and I'm not going to tell you my weight, but it's it's going to be hard to bring me down. Let's put it that way. Back in the day, but we don't care. The difference. This is I got to give you this story real quick. We're in St. Louis. We got our ass handed to us. It happens. But the fans there were like, "Hey, sorry for your luck. We thought it would be a closer game. You want to go have a beer?" We go across the street to their supporter bar, and they're buying me beer. Now, imagine if you're in Pittsburgh and you lost 35-7, and you went to their bar across the street. Would they buy you beers? No,
no chance.
We hate each other for only the time during the game is, but we're pretty cool, and that's what's kind of cool about this. And you can still we fan any way you like, right? So there's no wrong way to fan. We don't worry about bandwagon fans. We've had 3 last place finishes, and now there's a bunch of people coming out of the woodwork. We love it. We want everybody to be here, and that's why it's your perspective. That's just listening to going to the Bailey and seeing that. Imagine what your experience is. This is how Saturday's going to go, and ratchet that up. Like going to the AFC Championship game at home against the Chiefs, and you've got the ball down 2 at midfield with 2 minutes to go. Yeah. What are those fans going to be doing, right? That's us for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
No stopping. No. Okay. Well, let's take a break. It's third down. All right, calm down. No, there's no calming down. We're always ratcheted up. Yeah. And they score a goal, then it's lights out.
Oh.
So how did you? I love that story that you saw the stadiums and you've come in. Have you gotten anybody else to come over? Because I know whenever I see anybody come to the stadium, whether they're soccer fans or not, they go, "Oh my gosh, this is a lot of fun. I didn't know anything about this." Have you brought anybody else over, or has anybody else said, "Oh, I've gone," and any anecdotal stories from your friends or followers?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I get direct messages from people probably like a couple a week that are like, "Hey, I saw your videos and posts, and I'm a football guy, and I was looking for something to do on a Saturday, and I went to the game, and now I'm hooked." Like it really is, and that was my goal. Like I said, I wanted to bring the person in that was like, I never played soccer, I don't know anything about it. Uh, let's check it out, because why not, right? It's Cincinnati. I love the city of Cincinnati. I lived there my entire life. I'm a little bit north now, just because life takes you where it takes you, but it's just why not support it? You know what I mean? Even if you haven't kicked a soccer ball your entire life, it's a part of your city and it's got to be in your blood. That was what really drove me towards it.
And that's really what it is. It's the C on the chest. Um, I can tell you that Mark and I would both watch football. It's not my first choice, but it's not like I'm not going to say, well, I'm just a soccer guy. I can't possibly watch football, blah, blah, blah. Right. You have your first love and you will follow your first love. But there's nothing wrong with watching this it's mostly during the off season. And there's nothing better than going, oh, FC Cincinnati's got a playoff game and there's an early season game, a pivotal game. Maybe the playoffs in the evening and the playoff and your game, the Bengals game is in at 1 o'clock. That means you got to pace yourself for the all day marathon of watching games, because we all know if you live in Cincinnati, watching the game also means drinking some beverages.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And I was one of those guys. I was one of the football guys that was like, I'm not watching. I'm not doing that. I don't get it. You know what I mean? And that's what it boils down to. Is a lot of us are we don't get it. We didn't do it. We don't know. You know. But once you get into TQL, it's like if you don't get hooked, you don't have a pulse. I'm sorry.
Yes.
You know.
My wife, in a very minimal way, is similar to that. When I the first moment I heard that there was a team coming here, I called her immediately and said, "Can I get tickets?" She goes, and I thought this was going to be a discussion and it's going to take a few days and I have to talk into her. She goes, "No, go get them." And so I go, "Fine." So we go and watch the game. And the first thing she goes, so the flag comes up and it's offsides. She goes, "What was that?" It's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, that's offsides." "Well, explain to me offsides." And she goes, I don't understand it. A year later, I'm sitting there, a play goes on, and she stands up and goes, "He's offsides. He's offsides." I was like, "That's my girl. That's what it only took about a year from her to go from what is this to, oh, that was offsides. Come on, ref."
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And the first game I went to, I didn't sit in the Bailey, but I sat behind my friend and I sat behind probably like 19 years old and his dad, and they were very gracious. And you have said it before, you accept everybody, and everybody's it's like 90 minutes. We're at each other's throats, but at the end of the day, everybody's a soccer fan. And the guys in front of us, I asked them probably 100 questions a period. It was, I said, "What happened there? Why? So what was that, a trip? Was that offsides? Wait, why is he taking that kick there? Hold on a minute." And he answered every single question and was wonderful. And everybody around us was so cool. And if I ever had a question, it was great. The people next to us, before something even like I would ask the question, they'd be like, "Hey, that's a goal kick. You went out of bounds. It's a goal kick." And I was like, "Thank you," because I didn't know.
Yeah, because it's like football, right? When you see all the different, when the ref says this or that, and you're like, "Wait, what?
Yep.
What was that again?" If you don't know
Yeah.
football, what was that again? Because they have the flag and they point, and you're not sure if they're pointing towards the corner or they're pointing towards the 6-yard box.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
another term.
Yeah.
6-yard
Yeah.
box.
Yes.
18-yard box.
I try to use these terms when I'm coaching my kids, and I'm like, "What am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying." But it's great. Like I got the MLS pass. Like that's something 2 years ago I would have never bought that, you know.
Yeah.
And I got it, and I'm paying for it, and I love it. I'm watching the games, and my wife is more of a football gal. She's not on the soccer train yet, but I think she's starting to get curious, because when I'm watching football games, I'm pretty intense. But now I'm sitting here at the TV going like, "What are you, blind, ref? That was offsides. How are you going to count that?" And the ball hits the post, and I'm like, "Oh my god, it was so close!" And I'm finding my heart pumping and pounding, and it's just like, holy crap! I have something out of football season that can affect me this emotionally, and it's here, and I love it.
One of us. One of us.
Yes, I'm there. I'm there. I'm there. This season, I'm taking my time. I'm watching. I'm learning the rules. I'm very slowly starting to learn the roster, who's been here, who's leaving, international breaks and renting and loaning and buying and all this stuff. I'm trying to learn all that. And then next year, I'm kicking it into high gear. During football season, I'm going to be studying the roster, looking at everything online, so that next season, I'm going to just jump in the crowd with you guys and just, you're not even going to realize I'm brand new. That's my
There
goal.
you go. So do you have an orange and blue Benglorian outfit yet?
Let me show you. Yeah, let me show you what I made here. So this is still in progress, okay? And I'm hoping you
I'm
guys can
digging
see it.
it.
Yeah, so I went with the
Ooh.
horns on the side, and I took a sticker
Ooh.
from 513 shirts. They make a sticker that's got this kind of pattern on it, and I got to fit a visor in there. But this is the helmet that I made
Oh,
for
my
FC
Goodness.
Cincinnati.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eat
That
your
is a
heart out,
lovely
Frank
orange and
Coppers.
blue hat with big horns down the side for the people who will be listening to this on audio. But that is amazing.
Yeah,
Now,
once I get a visor in there, I'm gonna wear it to a game. I don't think I'll do a full suit just yet, but definitely the helmet had to be done.
go ahead, Bart.
I was going to say, Frank Coppers had the stormtrooper mask, and this is going to be the topper right here. That's for sure. All we need now is for Fat Dave to bring his FCC MG and drive him into TQL.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
amazing. That would be the trifecta of awesome.
Oh
Absolutely.
man, I did see on Twitter somebody did a full regular Mandalorian suit in orange and blue. I did see that. I don't know who did it. Somebody posted a picture that their kid took with the guy, and I got probably after the game like 100 direct messages like, "Was this you? Was this you?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "No, that's not me." But that is so cool. I'm so glad another guy's out there doing this. Like,
Yeah.
just I love it, man, because there's more than one Mandalorian, right? So
Yeah.
why not? Let's share the love and everybody make it. But his suit was pretty cool, yeah. But that helmet, I got to get a visor in it, and I'll probably wear it to a game. I want to march in the march with it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That would be
Absolutely.
awesome. And you probably don't want the full suit when it's in the middle of summer.
It is hot. They are hot, yeah. Because I try to make them sort of heavy duty. Because late in the football season, it's cold, so it's nice to be bundled up.
So yeah, you might need a cape. I don't know. I know a dude who wears a cape.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. I think I don't remember what game it was, but I was in the Bailey, and I think you were in the same row as me. Because
Okay.
you wear the cape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I sat probably 5 people down from me, but I remember I saw the cape and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I do remember that. And obviously I remember the hair. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What hair? What?
So do you have any final words of wisdom? Any interesting thoughts or some last story you'd like to tell us before we go?
I just think that if you're from Cincinnati and you're not sure if soccer is your thing or not, give it a chance. Really get a ticket, go with a friend. I went with a friend. That really helped me out. So it's kind of a strength in numbers thing. He was brand new too. But I've had wonderful friends like Tyler Minerding, a few other people who've reached out to me on Twitter and kind of gone, oh my God, the Benglorians, he's going to watch soccer now. This is great. We've got football fans coming to watch soccer. But if you're unsure, just jump in and do it. If it's not your thing, you'll know. But I guarantee you, if you jump in and you go to a game at TQL, you're going to go to 10 games at TQL because it's a blast.
I have to say the most for me, it always brings me joy in my heart when we score a goal and we do that. We have a chant that starts off really slow and you sway back and forth, and then shala na 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 na. Right. So we do that a few times, and then everybody goes nuts. They're jumping up and down in unison, moving their arms up and down. they're jumping up and down. And I look at that and it just brings me, I mean, if you're not there in the stadium going, I wish I was doing that right now.
Mhm.
You just don't like sports. That's just my,
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, check your pulse because something's wrong with you.
So thank you so much for being on our show. Mark, do you have any final thoughts?
Well, I'll say this, bad take. Well, the real take that I'm going to give, 2-1, FC Cincinnati will be victorious, and the Bailey will be just electric. I think all of TQL Stadium will be electric. I don't think it will be just the Bailey. I think the fans will rise in unison, and it will be something else. We'll probably have what we saw at Nippert against Chicago back in 2017. 32,000 people absolutely going nuts to get us over the hump in that match. I see the same thing here coming Saturday. So get to the stadium early, get ready. It's going to be amazing.
I heard that there's going to be a special guest lifting the sword. I don't know who it is. I did go to the TIFO painting. I'm going to tell you that this TIFO painting is going to be next level. That's all I can tell you. Can't tell you anything else, but it's going to be all the stops have been pulled for this particular match. So if you can get there, get there.
World-class stadium, world-class TIFO. Can't wait.
Once again, we've come to the end of another great show, and thank you, Ron, aka Benglorian. And I do follow your posts, and I know you are. If you guys want to, I'm talking to my soccer friends now. If you haven't, you need to do the inverse. If you're a soccer snob and you're like, I can't watch football, whatever, talk to the Benglorian. He could probably hook you up with some things to do, some things to, a tailgate. I have not been to a Bengals tailgate in some time, so maybe I just should talk to you at some point if I get a ticket and return the favor. Come down and savor the Bengals, because I know you guys now have like the Bengal rule the jungle thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works or any of that stuff. So maybe come fall, maybe I hit you up and you go, yeah, okay, I've done your thing. Now you come do my thing.
Yeah. Our roar of the jungle is FCC's sword. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, hit me up. Anybody, any soccer fans. I'll if I can, I'll take you to a game. You know what I mean? I want to spread the love. Love Cincinnati. I want everybody to love Cincinnati as well.
Well, thank you once again so much. And thank you, Mark, for all of your international chant duty. I'm glad it's over, though. I'm glad you're back. And for Mark Suppin, I am Matt Warman. Thank you for joining us here in FCC Supporter Square.